Chapter 14, Designing and Using Presentation Aids. Although there is great value in the use of presentation aids, there is also great caution that goes along with using them. We'll look at both of these in this slide presentation. One of the great values is that it can enhance understanding. When people see things, they understand better, and it also enhances the memory of an audience. It helps listeners to organize their ideas and gain and maintain attention rather than just looking at the speaker. It can help to illustrate a sequence of events or procedures. There are several types of presentation aids. There are three-dimensional aids such as objects, models, or people. And there are two-dimensional presentation aids such as drawings or photographs. And here's where part of the caution comes in. They must be large enough to be seen. Slides, which usually are larger, are easier to see. Maps are also excellent two-dimensional presentation aids. As you can see in this map, a path is charted, and it's important that the speaker can show what he would like to show on the map. Also used in two-dimensional aids are graphs, the bar graph, the pie graph, the line graph, and the picture graph. Further two-dimensional aids are charts, flip charts, chalkboards, whiteboards. Once again, chalkboards and whiteboards must be large enough to be seen by an audience or appropriate to the size of the audience. Overhead transparencies are often used as well. PowerPoint is the new and latest, greatest way that we use presentation aids. Although there are different ways to use PowerPoint, Prezi, some of those things, this is one of the great ways that we're able to see and make seen our aids. But first of all, make it simple. Keep your presentation professional, not so cutesy that it gets in the way. Unify your visuals so that there is a look that is the same throughout. As you can see from these PowerPoint presentation aids that we've used throughout this course, the designer of these used the same design, although changed colors on some. Make sure that you choose your fonts carefully, and we'll look at the typefaces and the fonts in just a moment. Choose your colors carefully and allow plenty of time to create the visuals. Make sure that you are able to control the PowerPoint slides and can control attention with the PowerPoint slides, that they're not used just to get in the way. As I said earlier, fonts are important. The best type of font to use is serif font. And a serif font has a little tail. As you see in the word poster, there's a little tail on the P at the top and the bottom. On Garamond, there's a little tail, Americana, and all of these serifs have a little tail. A sans serif is a much more rounded type of font and not as easily readable. If you look in your textbooks and pleasure books, you'll notice that a serif font is normally used simply because it's readable. Script and decorative are much more difficult to read. Audiovisual aids continue with video aids, DVD and videotape players, computers and other electronic devices, the internet, and audio aids. Although once again, all very good, I caution you in using those and think about technology. Aristotle said the soul never thinks without a picture. but there are some guidelines and helps for developing presentation aids. Make them easy to see and keep them simple. Select the right presentation aid to go along with your presentation. Make sure that you don't use dangerous or illegal presentation aids. As your text mentioned, using a bow and arrow and shooting it might be a dangerous presentation aid. Use them effectively, prepare them carefully, and practice with your aid. While you're using it, make sure that you maintain your eye contact and always make sure that you tell about it. It is probably a bad idea to pass objects around, usually because they will be distracting as people are handing them to other people, and they are looking at the object rather than listening to the speaker. Further ways to use presentation aids effectively is to be aware of animals. Be cautious about using animals. Use handouts and technology effectively. When you use handouts, it may not be as good an idea because people will tend to read those. Also, it can interrupt your speech if you plan to hand those out in the middle. Control your audience's attention. Make sure that they maintain their attention on you and the speech. And then remember Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will.